This is Tim Sohn with LHweekly.com, here today in the office of Dr. Charles Maranzano, Superintendent of Hopatcong Schools. He is here today to discuss a recent vandalism incident at Hopatcong Schools.
Acts of vandalism are not uncommon in communities across New Jersey as well as across America. Unfortunately, there are some disaffected youth that will resort to criminal activity either to get attention or to get a thrill, or merely out of a sense of hate that some sort of pleasure is gained from destroying or defacing others' property. I have a hard time wrapping my arms around that. But when these things occur, we have to deal with them. Hopatcong was hit with a series of vandalism incidents that were relatively minor in nature, meaning spray paint and some defacing of personal property, but yet sum total comes to several thousands of dollars. The 4 schools in Hopatcong were hit with graffiti last week. This past weekend, 3 of the schools were again repainted, and we took some immediate reactive action. And I'm very happy to say that as I report this to you, we solved this crime. 4 individuals who were enrolled at our high school have admitted to their role and are claiming responsibility, and a 5th individual who does not attend schools, who is a young adult, is also admitted. This is good news for residents of Hopatcong, because the actions of a very few do not, I repeat, do not represent the overwhelming majority of our good students who are working hard to achieve their academic goals and who are participating in sports and drama and music and the arts, and who look forward to a very, very promising future. However, in every community, and I repeat, every community, there are disaffected youth who will do these type of things. And when these actions occur, if we catch them, the best thing we can do is to bring justice swift and quickly. Now, there's another side to this that's very complicated, and I'd like to explain to the public the nexus or the connection between a school investigation of criminal matters and a police investigation, because they are 2 separate tracks. They tend to run parallel, but they are distinct and separate, and they are for very good reasons. The schools, based on its historical mission, has been always in the business of protecting students. And so the children who attend public schools are basically attending in a context of in parental locus, that the people in schools, administrators, principals, teachers, are in essence parents in place of parents. And that has been the mantra, and for years a police presence in public schools in America was not welcome. However, in the past 10 years, this changed dramatically. Starting perhaps even 20 years ago, in the 1990s, when there was a spike in criminal behavior among the youth in America, police officers began to occupy schools as a role called the school resource officer. And that became very complex from a legality standpoint. Here's why. As school officials, we have a reduced threshold for investigating misbehavior, either school misbehavior or even minor criminal misbehavior. And the standard that the courts have defined for school officials is called reasonable suspicion. If we hear that there's some criminal misbehavior, we can act very quickly. We can investigate, we can question, we can interrogate, we can find out information with a very reduced threshold. When a police officer, however, comes upon the same information, they have a higher standard called probable cause. Now, probable cause means that that behavior needs to rise to criminal behavior before a police officer can investigate. So when a police officer and school officials co-investigate, they really have to do it in a separate way. And as school officials investigate a specific incident, the municipal police, for example, need to stand aside. They can't participate in that investigation. Once school officials reach a conclusion, however, and we turn evidence over to the police, should that evidence rise to probable cause, then your police or your local authority or your sheriff, whoever it happens to be, can step in and continue that investigation from a different perspective. Again, if there is entanglement between the school investigation and police investigation, that usually becomes problematic. Hence the separate parallel tracks when it comes to investigating crime. This is particularly difficult when school resource officers work in a school setting. Unfortunately, we don't have a school resource officer in the Hopatcong schools at the present moment. But where they do exist, this separation of powers and duties needs to be very, very clear. So we took the lead in the vandalism investigation in Hopatcong, which resulted in school disciplinary action, and now that matter is in the hands of the municipal police, and of course, using the higher threshold of probable cause, they will conduct an investigation and hopefully reach a resolution. That's a little bit complicated, but I wanted the public to understand why we have to investigate the way we do when there are incidents of vandalism and damage in a public school setting as opposed to in a community setting. And with the connection and the collaboration between agencies, usually we reach a very satisfactory conclusion. So I want the public to know that there were thousands of dollars in damage done, which required sandblasting and required overtime on behalf of maintenance workers. However, we expect to fully recuperate all of that money once this matter rises to a criminal level. Thank you so much.